Angelina Jolie. Part 6. Narcissist? Hello, I'm H.G. Tudor, continuing my examination of what Angelina Jolie is. In 1997, she had a relationship with Timothy Hutton. In the aftermath of her relationship with Johnny Lee Miller, she found herself falling for yet another of her co-stars, this time in the shape of Timothy Hutton. Again, this demonstrates a lack of boundary recognition as a consequence of falling for somebody in a professional setting. Born in California in 1960, Hutton was 15 years Jolie's senior when she was only 5 years old. He won Best Supporting Actor for Ordinary People. Between the years of 1986 and 1990, Hutton was married to the actress Deborah Winger, and the marriage produced a son, Noah. Despite the substantial age gap, Jolie and Hutton had a great deal in common. When they met, they felt like kindred spirits. This again is the magical thinking that is often seen with narcissists, and note that he was already in a relationship. This was also the case with Johnny Lee Miller. He was engaged to somebody else when Jolie came and took him away from that individual. And similarly with Timothy Hutton, she saw nothing wrong with interfering in an existing relationship to have a relationship with this person. That demonstrates a lack of boundary recognition, a sense of entitlement, an absence of emotional empathy for the people affected by such behaviour. Hutton had come from an acting background, and like Jolie, he had starred in a film Never Too Late with his dad, Jim Hutton, at the tender age of 5. Timothy was also from a broken home and had moved around a lot as a child after his parents divorced when he was an infant. Having come out of a relationship that suffered from a lack of maturity on both of Jolie and Miller's part, the actress relished being in the company of an older man, and apparently loved Hutton so deeply that she had the letter H tattooed on the inside of her left wrist as a symbol of her affection. Objectification. After Hutton came Billy Bob Thornton. They met on the set of the 1999 movie Pushing Tin. Thornton was almost 20 years older than Jolie, and at the time was engaged to Laura Dern. Yes, once again, for the third time, Angelina Jolie interferes in an existing relationship, behaving, it would appear, like a cold-hearted predator who doesn't give a damn for breaking up an existing relationship so long as she gets what she requires. They got married in 2000 in Vegas. Laura Dern said, "I left our home to work on a movie, and while I was away, my boyfriend got married, and I never heard from him again." We're not here to examine Billy Bob Thornton, but that may well provide an indicator about him. But the point is that Angelina Jolie saw nothing wrong in taking Billy Bob Thornton away from somebody that he was in a relationship. The two of them wore lockets with smears of each other's blood around their necks. Triangulation. Provocative behaviour. Billy Bob Thornton told a red carpet interviewer that they had fucked in the car on the way here. Hypersexualization. Obvious behaviours. And said that while Angelina bit his face. They talked about installing a padded room in their house for those moments in the middle of the night when you want to kill each other because you're so in love. That, of course, is a skewed perspective of love often found with the narcissist. Then in 2002, they announced that they had adopted their son Maddox from Cambodia, though it later came out that Angelina had reportedly adopted him as a single parent, demonstrative perhaps of a sense of entitlement. A few months later they split and were officially divorced in 2003. Another short relationship. In 2008, bringing up the past, triangulation, Jolie said, "I still love him dearly and think the world of him, and I'm proud to have been his wife for a time. I don't believe in regrets." Narcissists don't do regrets. Mid-rangers may well talk about regretting something, but it's false contrition. When Angelina Jolie divorced her second husband, Billy Bob Thornton, her father, John Voight, stated he was not surprised. "I never had the feeling that they were going to make it because of both of their serious problems, so I never really held out any hope. the father said at the time. Next, it was Val Kilmer's turn, and Angelina Jolie briefly dated Val Kilmer after they met filming a film in 2004. Note the speed by which she has moved on to somebody else after the divorce from Billy Bob Thornton. This segueing of relationships is another hallmark of the narcissist. The romance with Kilmer was short-lived. He wrote that this was perhaps the most soulful and serious partner he had ever had, and went on to say, "When people ask what she's like, I say she's like other women and other superstars, just more." Demonstrative, perhaps, of the high level of charisma that she exhibits and magnetism that comes with her behaviours. He stated, "I can only hope my exes are out there writing similarly poetic things about me." After that short-lived romance, along came Brad Pitt. They met while filming Mr. and Mrs. Smith in 2004. Once again, true to form, Angelina Jolie falls in love with the co-star, demonstrating an absence of boundary recognition. But at the time, Brad Pitt was married to Jennifer Aniston. Once again, we see the interference in a relationship by Angelina Jolie, demonstrating a particular pattern of behaviour. At the time, denials were issued about any on-set romance, but in later interviews, they both admitted they'd fallen in love while working on the movie. In January 2005, Pitt and Aniston announced that they were splitting up, and just a few months later, Brangelina is featured in a W magazine photo spread titled Domestic Bliss. Not only is there the hasty coming together shortly after the split, which demonstrates that there was an ongoing relationship anyway, which resulted in Pitt moving on with Jolie. The fact is that to appear in a magazine photo spread, essentially a relationship bulletin, shows no emotional empathy for the impact that it has upon Jennifer Aniston. I'm going to return to the circumstances involving Pitt and Jolie later, but a quick run-through of their relationship explains that Pitt and Jolie became serious rather quickly, and she confirmed her pregnancy with their first child in January 2006. Again, swift pregnancy is often a hallmark of the sense of entitlement of the narcissist. Pitt formally adopted her son Maddox and daughter Zahara in 2006, and their children took on the surname Jolie Pitt. The couple welcomed Shiloh in May 2006. She adopted Pax in March 2007, while the actor followed suit in February 2008. Their twins, Knox and Vivienne, were born in July 2008. "One of the greatest, smartest things I ever did was give my kids Angie as their mum," he gushed to Parade in September 2011. "She's such a great mum. Oh man, I'm so happy to have her. With a partner like Angie, I know that when I'm working, the kids are happy, safe and prospering. And when Angie's working, she knows she has the same." Appreciative words from Pitt. Jolie and Pitt announced their engagement in April 2012. They tied the knot in France in August 2014. However, the relationship ended in September 2016 with a lengthy custody battle, and with Jolie accusing Pitt of being physically and emotionally abusive towards her and their kids on a September 2016 flight from California to France. We'll be looking at that again a little bit later. Pitt filed a lawsuit against Jolie in February 2022, claiming she illegally sold her share of the French winery Chateau Miraval, after previously agreeing not to do so with each other's permission, which suggests a flagrant disregard for accountability. Following this, a source revealed that in 2018, Angelina was with somebody who worked in real estate. A handsome, older-looking man. Thus, once again, swiftly moving on to a relationship. And then, after that, in June 2021, Angelina and The Weeknd were linked together. They were seen at a private concert in July, and then they had a cosy dinner in September at the same restaurant, which appeared that they were dating. She was asked about this, and an interviewer in October 2021 asked, "I have to know because your kids are at the age where they have opinions. So I have to know, were they more excited that you were in the Eternals or that you are friends with The Weeknd?" She replied, "They're very excited about this film, if that's what you're asking." She then took a moment and repeated, "They're very excited about this film." It would appear, perhaps, that there is a deflection there. A run-through of her various relationships, which shows a number of intimate partners, that shows the segueing of one to the other, which shows the regular situation of where she would interfere in another person's relationship without due regard for the impact that it would have upon people, the fact that she was content to cheat, the fact that she regards the relationships as simply means of getting to an end. Plenty of indicators contained within the nature of those intimate partner relationships. Although we haven't got the detail of what necessarily went on within them, more of that, however, in relation to Brad Pitt a little bit later, the way that she views the relationships and the ways that she behaved in terms of meeting people and then swiftly moving on provides us again with a number of indicators. Next, we're going to turn to the relationship with her father, which tells us many things about how she came to be the person that she is, and also the dynamic thereafter. Join me in part 7.